Hi, my name's Terrell Brindley.
Hey, I'm Sabercool.
I'm Kelly Zwern.
And you're listening to local Houston music on the ETX Rock Show.
ETX rocks!
This is Boston Chris with another great episode of the ETX Rock Show.
Louise here.
Descript.
Featuring all genres and styles of entertainment.
And coming to the ETX Rock. Let's hear it from Louise, please.
From the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond.
Out of the box with ETX Rock.
It's awesome.
We keep them coming.
$5, that's pocket change.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Haley McDaniel. Are y'all ready for this?
ETX Rock Show is the greatest show of all time, okay?
We are ETX Rocks.
The ETX Rock Show is the best show of all time, say? The other shows, you're good, you're real good. As long as we're around, you'll be second best, say?
Cut!
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Emily Cole. Thank you for tuning in to the ETX Rocks Show.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the ETX Rock Show. You guys should check out the Jefferson Burn Rally, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 13th to the 15th. Michelle, tell us about the Burn Rally.
Hi, this is Michelle, and I'm the event coordinator with the Jefferson Burn Rally. This is what we have going on this year. We will be having live music both Friday and Saturday featuring 22 bands from 3 stages, including Darren Morris, Geneva, White Trash Wannabes, Captain Joe Band, Kiss Tribute Band, Love Gunners.
And many, many more. That's awesome, Michelle. 22 bands, 3 stages, and 2 nights of live music. What else do you have going on?
Hello, Boston. We have vendors, food vendors. We have R32 stunt team. We have a poker run, a trivia walk, and first time ever, we have the Dino Drag contest.
And much, much more. That is amazing. And Michelle, I heard that you have something going on with motorcycles.
Yes, we have motorcycle games and we have a bike show as well. The event goes through till Sunday, and we have a church service for all bikers that would like to attend 10 a.m. with the CMA.
And so how much is it to get into the Jefferson Burn Rally?
It's only $20 and it's an all-access wristband.
So you can pay $20 and come out anytime, all weekend long?
All weekend long.
Awesome. Okay, so people know what the Jefferson Burn Rally is, but who does it benefit?
Benefits children that are burn survivors. We raise the funds and awareness, and we send it to the Percy R. Johnson Burn Foundation and Camp I'm Still Me. We send them to camp for a whole week, all expenses paid, and they get to be themselves. And when they get to camp, they are around others that are like them.
Where do folks go to come enjoy this rally?
Downtown Jefferson, Polk Street and Austin Street.
So guys, check out the Jefferson Burn Rally, October 13th through the 15th in downtown Jefferson. On the corner of Polk and Austin, you can get your tickets right there. Go out for a good time, for live music, all kinds of other cool stuff to do for a good cause benefiting the Percy R. Johnson Burn Foundation and Camp I'm Still Me. For more information on the Jefferson Burn Rally, look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/Jefferson Burn Rally.
I'd rather wince from the pain than remain numb. Hem me up if you please. Stretch me out if need be. Whatever it takes for you to make me a garment of praise. Like a robe, then I could rest on your shoulders, absorb your fragrance. Hey, put me on like a robe. I yield to the movement of your unforced rhythms of grace. Hey, put me on, put me on. was a patchwork of rags. Tried to dress it up like a whitewashed tomb. Truth be told, the stains of despair would not let go, but you took what I had, then gave me yours, displayed your splendor. Oh, and you put me on like a robe. Now I can rest on your shoulders, absorb your fragrance. Hey, you put me on like a robe. I yield to the movement of your unforced rhythms of grace. Hey, you put me on, put me on. Would you put me on, put me on, oh, put me on, put me on.
Hi everybody, my name is Terrell Brinley and I am with localhoustonmusic.com. I had a great opportunity to sit down with Kelly Zwern. She is a singer-songwriter here in Houston, and she's come and brought her songs with us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself tonight. So first off, I do want to say a big thank you to the ETX Rock Show for hosting us and getting the word out there and supporting local Houston music. So ETX rocks. So Kelly, welcome to this show.
Thank you, Tara.
Yeah, so I just want to start off and talk about how we met. There is a singer-songwriter circle out at Windwood Presbyterian Church, and so we had the opportunity to meet there a couple months ago, and we just really hit it off immediately. And so Kelly has a great grasp on writing worship style music and conversational with the Lord, and I feel like we just had a pretty strong connection in the beginning, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I really want to talk about starting off. Just kind of tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what your family life is like, and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am from Austin, Texas. I just moved here in November, and I've just been working part-time and doing music part-time and being a mom full-time. So I have 3 lovely children and a amazing husband, and we live in the southeast side of Houston right now.
Yeah. And so your husband works full-time?
Yes.
And so he's pretty supportive of your music and all that.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, we met and connected over music, and yeah, so he definitely is supportive.
Yeah. Kelly has brought a couple songs for us, and the first song that you would have heard is called Put Me On, and that was actually the song that we met kind of over. That was your introduction for me, and so I hope you could just kind of talk a little bit about it. How old is the song, and kind of what did it come from? What part of you is it from?
It's probably about a year and a half to 2 years old, and the title comes from the chorus. I really was going through a season where I just really was crying out to God and just wanting to be completely filled with Him in every way. And the first part of it is just, like you said, a conversation. And the first part of it just talks about how I just want to, I was just becoming aware of how hungry I was for Him. And when I use the word apathy, it's not really a statement of, oh, I'm so apathetic, but it's more of a statement of realizing that wow, I'm actually turned on to God in such a new way, in a fresh way that I never have before. And so but also at the same time, you become aware when you're fed in a way, it stirs up hunger. And so I just was asking for more of that. And then hence the chorus of put me on like a robe. I wanted him to just wear me. And the story about Gideon, he says, the Bible says that God put Gideon on like a glove. And so he yielded to God. And, if you know the story, he was pretty weak, and just his personality, but he really yielded to God, and God was able to do amazing things through him. And so that's kind of the cry of my heart in that song. And when I say something in a song, especially that one, it's kind of been my prayer the past couple of years. Even I just have been staying in it. It becomes, it's like the word becomes flesh when I meditate on it and repeat it and sing it. So it's been good for me to sing.
Yeah, being the first song that I ever heard of yours, it's your staple for me. So I do want to say how much I love that song, and I hope that the listeners really pick up on that just how great it is. So I appreciate you for it. When we played at the show, I think there was a lot of just like over complimenting each other. We played a show together at church out in Spring, and we sat next to each other, and everybody was just playing a song and kind of talking about it, and we were just constantly, I was like, Kelly Zwern, you're just so amazing, Kelly Zwern, everybody. So I really loved that song a lot. Let's talk a little bit about where you kind of blossomed as a musician. How old are you?
39.
39. So how long have you been playing the guitar?
I think since I was 20.
Okay. So whenever we were talking at your house the other day, you mentioned when I was playing scales on the piano, you were like, when I was in college doing music. So you have some formal music education?
I do. I have some. So when I entered college, it was really kind of it was a God moment. I didn't have any kind of musical training. Hadn't been in choir, but I'll back up just a little bit to explain that.
Sure.
So I'd gone on a kind of a retreat where I was just seeking the Lord, and I was about 20 years old, and music wasn't really in my life very much, except for listening,
Yeah.
And then I had this encounter where I just heard the Holy Spirit tell me that dream he had as a little girl wasn't just a silly dream that every little girl has. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be a singer someday, or I want to be like that, famous singer. He said, I've put music in you, and that was part of your DNA, part of your makeup. And so, right when I heard that, of course, it was just, I knew it was him, and I just cried, and I just felt so validated and so loved. And ever since then, he's just had me keep training. And so when college came up, I chose to audition for music school and just worked really hard at learning a hymn, and auditioned and got in, and even got a scholarship. So he got me in. I was just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was just a miracle thing. But I knew that all I needed to do was to learn a little bit of theory and to be able to just write songs. I didn't really need a whole degree for that. So
Yeah.
I studied for a year and a half, voice lessons and piano and musical theory, and took a songwriting class in college. And it was kind of one of these contest things, and at the end of the class, and so we all presented our songs. I had a big rock concert, and it was fun. I got second place.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't play that song anymore, but it was
Sure.
the starting place
Sure.
of playing music, so it was really fun.
So I guess whenever you started to develop your music vocabulary, you had strict intentions on becoming a singer-songwriter.
Yes, my heart was to write songs and do what I enjoy doing. I grew up listening to music in Austin, and there's a sound in the area, and that's just what flowed for me naturally. And so I created music that sounded like that, and because I'm a Christian, it just, that kind of theme just flowed from me naturally as well. So, yeah.
Cool. So, growing up listening to music, I do want to know about your influences. I think that's what everybody always wants to know. Like when they like an artist, they want to know what inspires them aesthetically in music. So tell me about who you listened to that you were just like, I want to do that.
Sure. Well, when I was a little girl, Amy Grant for sure.
Yeah.
I loved her storytelling. I loved her voice, just very, casual. And so I really connected with her stuff. And then as I grew up more, I started listening to more folk. So Indigo Girls was one of my favorite bands. I knew every Indigo Girls song. U2 along with that, a little different, but just that's when I grew up listening to their War album, and Joshua Tree, of course. Ramsey Schick was this gal out of Dallas. She was wild and crazy, and she played at a Christian club that was kind of wild and crazy and fun. Underground kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I felt really cool going to this club. And Sarah McLachlan, all those girls,
Love Sarah.
Girl Inc. song.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette.
Okay, yeah. 94 was a good year.
Definitely. So some of my first musical pieces, a lot of them are in a higher register because of Alanis Morissette, probably.
Yeah.
So I think those are probably some of the biggest ones.
Yeah. So I like in your music and what I've been able to pick up from everything that I've heard so far is you have that wonderful trademark. Hey, hey, hey. So where do you think that comes from? How does that come out? And what
that is the first time anyone has ever told me that. So I'm gonna have to think about that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, there's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of. I do, when I come to think of it, in my songs, like lately, I've used words that talk about maybe inner sounds, like no more groaning is one of the lines. So maybe there's something of a filling in of space. I think sometimes we can just, when we even just say, sing a certain pitch or a certain note, there's something that's released or something that's our spirit is saying.
Yeah, and I like that the dissonance that you bring in that little soundbite. I just feel like it really just like establishes brand with you, and that's one thing I really like to talk about with artists that I meet. For me, as an artist, branding is a really big deal. In presenting your story. And when we were at your house, you talked a lot about how, you're just like, I'm not into branding and I'm not really pushing for that kind of stuff. So you want to talk a little bit about branding or your lack thereof and how that is for you?
Sure.
I'm
really trying hard to even understand the question.
Oh,
I know
okay.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying,
fine.
but that is I'm sure there's been, it's been 15 years since I started, and there's been certain vivid dreams and pictures and to keep me going, I think. Literal dreams or things that have come up from other people, and some of them are kind of big, and so there's been times when I've struggled with trying to aspire to something. Not that we don't ever want to aspire to something, but having that in the forefront of my mind has never been a healthy thing. So I've done a lot, especially with having children. I have 3 children, and so as a musician, and maybe, I don't know, maybe even somewhat as a female musician, a mother, there's a huge time commitment involved in motherhood and in music, and I've done a lot of laying down of that laying down of my aspirations, laying down of my dreams in a way that is a healthy way, I think. With like being able to, sometimes you have to lay something down in order for it to be a healthy thing, to be able to pick it back up and to go with it with good, clear vision. So I just haven't had the time, honestly, to look into branding, to look into what it takes, and internet presence, and all those things, that it's just too complicated for me. And what I do best is just staying in my quiet, secret place and writing music and speaking with the Lord and just singing what is real and what is honest, and just sharing that where opportunities arise. And just that is the truest thing that I can do right now.
Cool. So, in talking about what we were just saying, how keeping back the I guess the vanity side of being a musician, you know, disposing of branding, and you know, laying things down so you can be there for your kids, and be a mother, and just really be a singer-songwriter. That's what I can really relate to what you're saying in that, because for me, I've always been like, you play to your strengths, and for me, I'm a singer-songwriter, and so that is, anytime that I need to be recorded or anything like that, you just leave that to somebody else. So I think a big part of who you are as an artist and a singer-songwriter is your communion with the Lord. So I kind of want to hear just a little bit more about that, and how, you know, in a worship setting, I think when you are singing to the Lord and kind of maybe being a little like spontaneous in speaking to Him through song and stuff, what is it like whenever you like get something that like, this is going to be a song, and you just like say amen, and then just like, oh, I'm just going to write this down now, or you know, what is the actual songwriting process like, and how do you start to formalize and finalize these themes?
I would say, you know, sometimes it's different, but for the most part, especially lately, I will usually have a new understanding, and truth sets us free. And so when I'm with Him in the Word, or driving around in my car and just having conversation, when He's revealing truth to me, I have to process it. You know, I have to, for me, verbally processing things helps. And like, if I just say, where's my keys, then I can usually find my keys. And it's the same way with Him. You know, He just wants me to, I think it's kind of a way of prayer. So when I speak to Him or sing to Him, then it's conversation. Usually if I'm starting to understand something new, then I want to understand it more. I want to process it. And if I start by either hearing a phrase or a line, then I might get my phone out and record it real fast if I'm in the car or something. And just, I'll take a phrase and usually hear a melody with it. And but it always goes along with what He is doing in my heart.
So it starts as one little piece, and then you kind of extrapolate off of it.
Sure. And I kind of explore that, and just to get the idea solidified, so that, like I was saying earlier, so that the truth really gets in me. And if you know, I'll sing a line of a song over and over and over again before it starts to grow, and then I'll have another line, and then a chorus, and then and then it just starts kind of exploding. I'll hear melodies and bridges, and I'm not thinking melody, bridge, it just starts kind of happening. And then I'll have it mostly lyrically and melodically written, and then I'll get my guitar, or at times sit at the piano and try to figure out what chords go with it and how to make it a song.
You do have some piano chops?
Oh, very, very little. Very little.
Let's get the keyboard in here right now.
No. The guitars, that's about as far as I go.
What made you choose guitar over keys, if I could ask?
Well, I lived in a house, a community house on campus at UT, University of Texas campus, and there was about 25 people who lived at this house, and it was like 3 stories.
Is it like a sorority?
It was a co-op.
Co-op? Okay.
No, and more than half the people play guitar, so it was just a great opportunity to learn. I had a friend give me a guitar.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he was my guitarist in my first band back then. And so I had plenty of people to teach me chords, and I just started playing songs there.
So you had recently done some recordings just recently that you just put online. I want to, before we talk about that, I want to talk about things as far as laying down your original music. What have you done in the past before this latest project that happened out in Austin?
I've had several opportunities from friends mostly. I'm super grateful to people who have just volunteered to, hey, let's get this one recorded. Usually I've been in doing some kind of musical project with them, or old band members, and they wanted to work at doing production, and so I was the musician and provided that, and it was fun. I think they've all been really amazing experiences, building on just maturing the work, and for me, understanding my voice better.
Yeah. And
so the latest one definitely captures more of what I feel like.
So you usually find people that believe in you to the point that they were like, hey, we got to do this now. So they push it forward, or is it like you are like contracting these people out, or?
Oh no, just friends. And people that we enjoy making music together. Most of the time, I guess 8 years ago when I lived in Houston before, I was in 3 or 4 different bands, and we were all kind of playing music at the same time. We would, play not duos together, or Fitzgerald's or Walters and Washington, and we're all kind of, we have our own bands, but we also share parts in each other's bands. Like I was a backed up reggae band singer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we did Irish punk. It's just fun, and then there's just kind of momentum going, and so
So the current stuff that just kind of happened is, so for lack of a better way of saying it, sounds like you got a little bit of a rebranding that's happened. Even though
that one wasn't mine, but that was just a friend's. Yes, that stuff. So I would say it's more, my style now is definitely more folk, with blues and rock and all mixed together, Americana.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, kind of an lack of a better explanation, kind of an Austin-y sound.
Who produced these tracks?
A friend of mine, she wanted to gift me with recording, and so she went ahead and paid to get some songs done.
Wow.
And it was a huge gift. And her name is Cindy Borsellino, a dear friend. She's spent lots of time with me, kind of discipling me in a way, not with music necessarily. She is a musician also, and I would definitely say she's influenced me. But she's just been like a spiritual mom in a lot of ways. Wow. So anyway, she had a family friend also who does some production and is also a musician in Austin, and his name is Terrell, and I know, and he just does music all over Austin, and we actually got to go into 512 Studios in Austin. It's a really nice studio area, and I was just amazed at this. So
So how long did that whole process take, as far as laying everything down and mastering and all that? How long?
Well, we were in there just for a few hours, and then I had 1 or 2 words that I wanted to go in that were flat, and that I went and fixed, and we just fixed those up in his recording studio at his house.
Okay.
But
What about the other musicians? Because it's a full set.
Mm-hmm.
So who else played in on that? Did you know those people, or did they just bring them in for you?
Yeah, my dear friend Sheridan is the female guitarist on the piece. I usually don't play my own guitar on the recordings.
Oh, really? So someone else is playing guitar for you? Man, that's kind of cushy, isn't it? You just kind of like going like, I'll sing.
Yeah. And then we have a drummer. He was playing with us for a short time. He was actually in her band.
Okay.
They play in Austin also, in different band. But yeah, she graced me with her presence. He graced me with his presence. I hired him too.
Okay.
I didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And she sings backup vocals with me when we had a band in Austin.
Okay.
But for the recording purposes, we just did the guitar.
So what? How many songs were there in this set of music? Two. And what were they?
We did Lose It and You've Won Me Over.
Okay, and Lose It is the song that's going to be at the end of this interview, so definitely stick around for that. It's a great story, great example of Kelly's conversational style in her writing, so I really want you guys to stand around for that. If we could talk a little bit about that song before we kind of tell everyone how to find this stuff. There's a lyric in there, took a little pill. Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, the whole song it's all about redemption, I think, and going from one status to another, and so talk about it a little bit.
Well, it's an intense song, and it's full of joy. You know, it's peppy and fun because the story ends with joy.
Yeah.
But it's intense in the sense the story. It's basically my story of how the gospel impacted my life.
Yeah.
Kind of the theme of it, you lose it to find it. You've got to lose it to find it. Oh, well, you were asking about the little pill.
Yeah, but I mean, all that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just the idea of being born again, of actually when I become a Christian, I lose the life that I was never meant to live, and I gain an amazing spirit-filled life that with purpose and destiny.
Yeah.
I would say the majority of my Christian life, I didn't really get that. I didn't understand that, and so it didn't have that impact. And so as I guess about 4 years ago, when I wrote this song, I started asking the question, God, why am I not free? You know, your word talks all about freedom, and I really didn't see a lot of people walking out freedom like it looked like in the Bible. And so I just wondered, I started asking, where do we truly get free? And just listening to him and wanting to know more, because I believed that there was more than I really understood.
Yeah.
And he answered, when we ask, he answers, and I just waited for him. I knew I didn't want religion. I knew I didn't want just to play around. I wanted what was real. And the little pill part, I struggled all my life with depression, and had been diagnosed with depression and PTSD from certain events that had happened in my life, and so it was pretty serious. And I had tried to just pull myself out of it, and tried different ways to be healed, gone through all kinds of counseling and all the spiritual healing stuff, and still at the end of the day I'd come back and it seemed like, oh, that kind of helped, but at the end of the day I just really was still struggling so much. And I thought, why am I in my late 30s, I'm still not like free? And yeah, so the pill, obviously I was on antidepressants, and because I needed it at the time.
Yeah. I could feel you kind of going towards this, and this is part of your story that I know, if you're comfortable with talking a little bit about it. I think whenever you first kind of came back into faith, because you kind of grew up in church, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were kind of separated. You had kind of separated yourself from the church, and so it's kind of been a love story of you coming back and celebrating being part of the church and being with the church, the people, that is. You want to talk a little bit about that and kind of tell people your story in that?
Sure. Well, I had been married for 8 years and before, and like I said, I didn't really understand the gospel. I didn't understand Jesus as much as I could kind of recite things and tell you the right answers.
Right.
It didn't impact me like it has now. You know, the marriage failed, and it really was devastating to me.
Sure.
We were in the church, and so that was very difficult. It was just hard to fit in that place with divorce, and so I was angry and felt like I needed to blame everybody, and so I just walked away and really had a chip on my shoulder and a lot of attitude, and felt pretty right. So during that time I was pretty angry, but I felt like I was strong. I felt like, well, now I have a voice, now I'm not a pushover, and now I'm not a doormat, you know, so I felt like that was freedom. And you know, my circumstances kind of changed for the better, and it seemed like, yeah, this is the way to go. And then, you know, life kind of got into a place where, okay, I'm really no better off than I was before. It just kind of has a way of going in that direction. And then I cried out to God, and I was just like, you know, really want to know you. I want to know your life. I want to know freedom. I want to understand your love and all the things that I've read. I want to experience that to a new level. And he really did answer and just started showing himself to me through the word, through songs, through, you know, all kinds of amazing things, but really just drew my heart close. And you know, I said I rejected the church and that whole drama stuff. For me, I was dramatic about it. But when you love God, you know, he is the head, and then his body goes along with it.
He's in his people.
And so it wasn't like a thing that I just was trying to do. It just naturally came. When he started melting my heart, just in general, and just showing me that my goal in life is now to become love, and that is my purpose, my reason for living, to become love, then there was no way I could be angry at anybody else, or you know, it just melted all of that off. And so now I'm no longer trying to get something from somebody in the church, or have them like me, or have them appreciate me. It's just, I'm there to be love. I can give. That's love.
Yeah, and especially being part of a church family. There's, I was talking about this on my website a couple days ago, just how much a strong church family is integral to the Christian experience and can become a really great asset in the walk. So,
yeah, it's true.
Now that all the recording's done, you know, a couple weeks ago, you had sent me after the show that we did at that church, you'd sent me a preview of Lose It, which was an honor. So thank you so much for sharing that with me really early.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But now it's available online on Reverb Nation, right?
Yes.
What is the way that our audience here today can go and find you on Reverb Nation?
It's just under reverbnation.com /Kelly Zwern. Zwern. It's a hard last name.
Yeah. So that's Kelly, Kelly.
Yes.
Zwern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a way that I need to figure out how to let people download it, but I will find out soon how to I want to just give it away. So just allow people to download. I'm sure there's an easy way that I haven't figured out yet to do that. But yes, you can listen to it.
Yeah, and the recordings are really good, so I really want to commend you on a great job on the project, and your team was really excellent. So I really, it was great to listen to it. Whenever you sent, I saw online that you had posted it like a week or so ago, and I was at work and I was just kind of listening to it in the office. So I love it. I really appreciate it. You got a couple of things coming up as far as live shows in town. So what is going on at Wynwood Presbyterian Church?
Yeah, on August 11th, there's going to be a singer-songwriter night. And I don't know all the details, but there's going to be other singer-songwriters there as well. Yeah. So I'll be playing there.
Yeah.
And the PM, I think 7 p.m.
Okay, cool. And that was August
11th.
Okay,
Friday.
Cool. Excellent. And then we got something else going on at the Red Brick Tavern also.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. At the Red Brick Tavern on September 1st, Diane Prokop and I will be doing a show together.
Diane. That's awesome.
We're splitting the bill. Doors open at 8. The music starts at 9, ends at 11:30. I think tickets are like $5. They made us charge something. So
is that like a restaurant atmosphere?
It is, yeah, and it's kind of a bar at night.
Okay, what? How can people get tickets? Do they just need to contact you, or
if you just go to my Reverb site, there'll be a place to click on the show, and it'll send a link to buying tickets.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get all of that linked up in the description of the podcast. So, I mean, do you have anything else you want to say to everybody before we get it all wrapped up?
No, it's just an honor to be here. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys right now.
It's I can't say enough how much I loved meeting Kelly the first time. I mean, you really spoke to me by your words, and I think the Holy Spirit has a lot to do with that too. So praise the Lord for you. And so I guess we'll kind of get everything wrapped up. I want to say a big thank you to my studio audience today, because we got a couple of people in the house listening. So I want to say a big thank you to Marcus and Miriam for helping us with sound check and stuff. Really, really huge shout out to Richard Savercool. Man, this dude has been part of my team for a really long time. And, well, I mean, we're on a team together, so he has been my sound engineer for the show, and he is facilitating the studio here at Impact Church Studios in Roman Forest, Texas. And so I would just love it if you guys would check Richard Savercool out. You can find him. His band name is Savercool. He is on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. And go check out his record, Unburdened. It's absolutely amazing. And this dude, he's just one of my best friends. And so I really appreciate you. We are currently being, I didn't get to say this on the last show, but we are being syndicated by the ETX Rocks podcast show. And I can't say what a blessing it is to be part of that. So if you're listening to us, you're probably hearing us via that source. So big shout out to Boston and everybody over at ETX. ETX does rock, and I'm so glad to be part of that. My name is Terrell Brindley, and if you want to find out more about me, you can go to thisintangibleexistence.com. You can find me on iTunes, Spotify, and everything. I think I just hit the mic right there, so sorry about that. And my featured work is Words and Music, and also my brand new single is what's the name of my single? It's called Calling Out Your Name, and so check that out. It's an honor to share that with everybody, and praise the Lord in that. So I guess I don't have anything else to say. Is that it, Richard? That's it? That's it? So, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, I'm Terrell Brindley. Thank you so much to Kelly Zwern for coming out and being part of this. We are reporting on local Houston music. You can find us at localhoustonmusic.com. Thank you so much again to the ETX Rock Show, and you guys have a great night. Thanks.
Hey y'all, I'm Natalie Rose. Thank y'all for tuning in to the ETX Rock Show.
You got to lose it if you wanna find it. You got to lose it if you wanna find it. May not sound PC, but it will make you free. May not sound PC, but it will make you free. Hey. grit my teeth, the more I seem beneath. Took a little pill to help my brain. Now I found myself making me insane. It's too small on its own, so I groan, oh I I said to God above, did you see the evil coming? Why didn't you rescue me from their schemes? He said yes, ever since the fall, I could see what was going down. It's been every man for himself, fighting for a crown. He's been on his own, so he groans, how he my son, he left us alone to bring back my sons and daughters who've forgotten they were made to look like me. I said, well, okay, what's that to me? He said, you look like you can use some peace. I won't revive what is old. Let's put this new life on. You need new skin for the new wine that's about to blow. So let it go, let it die. No more groaning. You got to lose it if you're gonna find it. You got to lose it if you're gonna find it. May not sound PC, but it will make you free. May not sound PC, but it will make you free. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, self-pity told a lie that I need to take some time to honor all the heartbreak in my life. He said, let's call it what it is. The old is dead and gone. Come and see what I saw in you all along. And let her go, let her die. No more groaning. He said, he who the sun sets free is free indeed. I said, but what about the time when he said, you're free? Yeah, but what about the time lost? He said, you're free. Yeah, enough is enough. Jesus is enough. Enough is enough. You're free. Enough is enough. Jesus is enough. Enough is enough. You're free. No more looking back on the pain of the past that was old. What I give is brand new. It's time to let it die so you can live through me. No more paying homage to that victim. You're not a tragedy. Jesus said, I'm the resurrection. I am the life. Not just for me, but all who believe. He said, you see, I'm the king, and I'm the Prince of Peace. So you're the princess bride, that's what I see. It's what you have been hoping for, proof of the unseen. Open your little eyes of faith. faith. It's time to believe and rise and sing, rise and sing, yeah, rise and sing this song. You got to lose it if you're gonna find it. You got to lose it if you're gonna find it. It may not sound PC, but it will make you free. May not sound PC, but it will make you so free. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Darren Watson, ETX Rocks.
ETX Rocks, Alan Fox Band.
Hey guys, we're the Morning Madhouse. I'm Carter.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Ginger.
It's the best podcast ever made in all of history.
Hi, this is Paul Bebo, and ETX Rocks with Boston Chris Barnes. You're gonna love it.
ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, DP here. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Enduring House, a Christian rock band.
ETX Rocks!
Hey, this is Monty Pittman from ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, Jaden Farnsworth, ETX Rocks.
Hey, everybody, I'm David McCarty with the Gypsy Creek Band. As always, ETX Rocks.
Hey guys, this is Chris Colston. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX Rock Show.
To the ETX Rock Show.
The ETX Rock Show.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I just want to make sure you support local music.
Hi, East Texas, this is Chris Wayne.
And Crystal Clark with KYKX 1057. ETX Rocks!
Hey, East Texas, we're Lady Chaz and the Tramps. And just remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Todd Freeman of ETX Rocks with Boston Chris.
Hey, East Texas, I'm Waylon Hicks. And remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the one and only SP and Mexicano con Estilo. Make sure to support your local music, and ETX Rocks.
Hello, we're one way home.
Hey, East Texas, this is Teaser.
Please continue to support local music.
And always remember, ETX Rocks!
Howdy folks, this is Darren Watson. Support local music and ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Chris Colston, and make sure you support local music
And ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Hannah Kirby. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX Rock Show.
Tough guy, ho!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX Rocks!